Today is March 2nd, and it is 7:02. I'm going to call the meeting of the regular meeting of the Twinsburg Board of Education to order. Mr. Aho, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Crawford?
Here.
Mr. Curtis?
Here.
Mrs. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Felber?
Here.
Mrs. Travis?
Here.
Okay, we're all here. Would you all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's the best part about having a little kid.
Okay, good evening, Twinsburg community, administration, students, and families of Wilcox, George D. Dodge, and Twinsburg High School. I'm Mark Curtis, and I'm honored to serve as your board president. As we mark the end of Black History Month, I'd like to commend all of the staff who participated in the planning and execution of all the events surrounding the celebration. I'd like to specifically thank my board colleague, Mrs. Rhonda Porter, and the PTA for organizing the creation of a video featuring many prominent African Americans in our community offering words of wisdom and encouragement for our students. As a community, we have achieved much, and we look forward to making a positive impact on all of our communities moving forward. We've also begun engaging various community groups to inform them of what we call the Tiger Legacy Project that's been recently launched. Formerly, the Conceptual Legacy Project, this project is designed to address some of our most critical infrastructure needs, and your feedback is most important in designing something that is conducive for our long-term goals. I'm sure the superintendent will provide more information on how we can engage, how you can engage in this process, but I wanted to make sure that I acknowledge it in my president's report. Lastly, I'd like to recognize the planned retirement of our treasurer, Mr. Marty Aho. Wasn't expecting that. I have the distinct pleasure of working with Marty for the last 6 years, and he has been an invaluable resource throughout my time on this board. And as I lobby on behalf of the board as a legislative liaison, Marty provides me with the financial data necessary to make the case for increased funding for our district. Behind every collective bargaining contract, major expenditure, and levy, Marty has been there to provide the most expert and sound guidance that guides our decisions. He has invested 20 years of his life into this district and has done so with more commendations than I can name from the state auditor's office. He is well liked and respected by every board that has served under his tenure, as well as his peers. While keeping his staff lean, he has managed his office with efficiency and the utmost integrity. Knowing Marty, he's probably not comfortable with being recognized like this because he's so humble. He does not crave the limelight. But he doesn't do things for recognition. He does what he does because it's what he loves. As the board makes preparations for finding a suitable replacement, I want him to know, or at least I want them to know, and I want you to know that whoever is chosen, they will have huge shoes to fill. Mr. Aho, you will be greatly missed. We appreciate all that you have done for this district, and we wish you nothing but the best in your retirement. So, from me and our entire board, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Found out the shoes though are size 10.
That's going to make it even harder. I won't ask him to make any remarks or whatnot. We'll wait for that when the time comes. But that concludes my president's report. So I'll turn it over to our superintendent, Mrs. Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. Good evening, members of the Board of Education. It is so great to see our families here tonight, and we thank Mayor Yates and Council for once again allowing us to be in their chamber, and thanks Mr. Gutowski for live streaming our board meeting this evening. Board of Education, I think it's appropriate before we move forward with the board meeting is to take a moment to pay respects to what's happening in the Ukraine and Russia. We have Tiger families who are either calling the Ukraine and Russia a homeland or who have family there. And I know over the past week or so, our school counselors and administrators have been touching base with many of our families. So I would just ask if we can take a moment of silence just to give support to our Tiger families who have loved ones or who are from the Ukraine or Russia. Thank you. And just a word to our families who are impacted by this strife in Europe. If there's some way that our school district can support you, I please ask that you contact a building administrator or me at the Board of Education office. We have lots of support services for our families and would be very happy to help in any way that we can. And we do wish your families all the best as this moves forward, and we certainly do pray for peace. Board of Education this evening, as you see, we have lots of students here. It is so exciting to see our Wilcox Tigers, and we have Dodge Tigers coming and high school Tigers coming. And because of still the need to be careful, the pandemic is still around, we are staging our Dodge Tigers to come in next once our Wilcox Tigers are recognized, and then we'll stage our high school Tigers last. So that's why the room doesn't feel very crowded tonight, is because the other two schools are coming a little bit later and are waiting for their turns out in the lobby. So we thank them for their patience, and we thank you for being here tonight. Board, in looking back at my report from exactly 2 years ago, I saw that during my report on March 4th, 2020, I introduced to our school community virus. So 2 years ago exactly. If we only knew then what we know today. So much has happened in 2 years. I'm so proud of our school district's response to this global pandemic. Most especially, I'm proud of the way that our students have been resilient and our staff members have worked together with our families to make sure that our students, our staff members, and their families have been safe. For all of their support, and we are grateful for your trust in us. It has been a very unique 2 years. I can honestly tell you that when I went into the career of being an educator back in the day, I'm not going to tell you what year it was, had no idea anything about a pandemic and how you manage in the world of a classroom or at the board level, how you make sure all the parts and pieces are in place. And so we thank the Board of Education for their guidance. We thank our partners at the Summit County Public Health Department, and most especially we thank our families for your trust in us. And we'll continue to move forward through this pandemic, knowing that we keep the students in the center of every decision that we make. Speaking of students, believe it or not, kindergarten registration will soon be underway. Our annual kindergarten parent kickoff is scheduled for Thursday, March 10th, and this is live and in person, no more virtual. So at 6:00 p.m. at Wilcox Primary School, parents of our incoming kindergarten students, otherwise known as our class of, drum roll please, 2035, will be able to complete the initial enrollment application by going to our website under For Parents and then to Registration and Enrollment, New Students. This page has information about registration and the documents you'll need to bring to your appointment the day your child participates in kindergarten screening. This year, we'll be conducting registration and screening appointments for new kindergarten students on Thursday, June 2nd, Friday, June 3rd, and Monday, June 6th at Wilcox Primary School. Students who are currently in our preschool programs will not need to participate in kindergarten registration and screening. We certainly do look forward to meeting our class of 2035 during kindergarten registration and, of course, during our kindergarten kickoff. Again, it's Thursday, March 10th at 6:00 p.m. Also, we are pleased to announce that the 2022-23 registration for our 5-star Step Up to Quality rated preschool program is underway. Although applications are now closed for our integrated preschool program, We are still accepting applications for our kindergarten preparatory program, KPP, which is our project-based preschool. Please visit our district website for more information, including ways to apply for our kindergarten preparatory program. The application process, or the deadline, I should say, is March 15th. So not too much time left if you're interested in your child being registered for our kindergarten preparatory program. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out to the staff at Wilcox Primary School. They are very excited to help you and to welcome our newest Tigers onto the campus. Finally, Board of Education this evening, as part of my report, Mr. Curtis, thank you for the lead up. We do have exciting news about our relaunch of our Tiger Legacy Project. If you've been in the community for a while, you know 2 years ago we were talking to the community about something called the Conceptual Legacy Project. And then fast forward, March of 22 happened and everything sort of got off the track. So tonight, for the first formal way, we're going to introduce to everyone who is here a little promotional commercial about our Tiger Legacy Project community meeting, which is scheduled for Tuesday, March 15th over at our middle school, R.B. Chamberlain Middle School, in the auditorium. It's your first chance to get a glimpse at the plan, and it's also our chance to get some feedback from you. So we have a short little clip. It's a little promo that our friends at Community Focus did for me just today. That's why I have the same suit on. But I hope you enjoy this short promo.
The Tiger Legacy Project is a plan to build a 3-grade school in Twinsburg to replace Dodge Intermediate School. On Tuesday, March 15th, residents will get a chance to get more information and offer input on this Tiger Legacy Project.
Well, we learned during the first go-round of the Conceptual Legacy Project, before we changed the title to the Tiger Legacy Project, that we didn't do enough of the engagement piece. We thought we had touched our residents through our booster groups, through the local government officials, through the newspaper, through our cable show. But when we did the phone survey, we realized that we didn't engage enough of our residents, so they had a greater understanding of what this project was about. So the purpose for the community meeting on March 15th is to do that very thing, to invite the community to this meeting, to learn about the project, to learn how this project is different than the Conceptual Legacy Project, and to really allow an opportunity for feedback. This is really important to me. It's important to our Board of Education, because when you come forward with the ask for support of a construction project, you want to make sure that whatever that ask is responsive to the needs of our community, and in a bigger way, responsive to the needs of the students, not only of the Twinsburg City School District today, but those who will be walking through our hallways in years to come. We know that a strong school district means it's a strong community. And we want to make sure that we are providing our residents and the children who are in our community with the very best facilities. Again, not only just for today, but for tomorrow's children as well. It's really important that we get this right. It's important that whatever the plan ends up being, that we have been responsive to our community through this engagement process.
For more information on the Tiger Legacy Project, visit the Twinsburg Schools website at twinsburg.k12.oh.us. And please, watch the March edition of Twinsburg Schools Today on the My Community Focus app or on Spectrum Channel 1021. Well, the Tiger Legacy.
So again, our community meeting is going to be on Tuesday, March 15th at 7 p.m. in the auditorium at R.B. Chamberlain Middle School. Please mark your calendars. Please come and join us. We're interested to hear what you think about the project. If you think the project needs to be changed, is it big enough? Is it small enough? Lots of great conversation that evening. We need you to be there because we can only do this project how the community wants it to be done if you're part of the engagement. And so we thank you for your interest. We look forward to seeing you on the 15th. And we'll be sending a postcard out to all of our residents as another invitation, but we wanted to make sure that you heard about it tonight first. And now, Mr. Curtis, it's time to celebrate some outstanding Tigers from Wilcox Primary School. I know Mr. Asti, our assistant principal, is excited to celebrate kids tonight, and I think Mrs. Davis is going to present special pins to all the boys and girls. So Mr. Asti, you want to come up and let's get the party started.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Powers, Twinsburg community. It's a great honor to be back in the Government Center again, recognizing all these young tiger faces, with masks, without masks. You do you, whatever you're comfortable with. When I announce your name, go ahead and come on up and we'll give fist bumps and a special treat for each of you. So the Wilcox Rocks Because of Me Award is an award where students are recognized for going above and beyond, for standing out within the classroom. And I'm going to read to you a little bit about each student before they come up. So when I call your name, boys and girls, you come up, and then I'll read as you come up. So first up, we have first grader Capri Poliafico in Mrs. Kane's class. Come on up, Capri. Capri is such a joy to have in class. She demonstrates the character traits that make Wilcox Rocks. She is responsible. She gets her work done and can be counted on to do the right thing, even when no one is watching. Capri is caring when she helps her classmates, and she is always safe. Thanks for making Wilcox rock, Capri. And then Capri, you could stay on up here until all the other kiddos are called, okay? And you'll have friends joining you in just a moment. Next, we have Aubrey Gooseby, first grader in Mrs. Fink's class. Come on up, Aubrey. Aubrey is a true role model for other children. She always gives 100% and tries her best, even when the material's not easy. She does not give up. She is polite, kind, and always follows the class rules. If Aubrey doesn't know it already, Mrs. Fink will tell her, and then she's a superstar. Aubrey makes Wilcox rock. Next is Brooklyn Bell, first grader in Mrs. Lennox's class. Come on up, Brooklyn. Brooklyn comes in every day with a smile, says hello, and is ready to learn. She's always eager to start her day learning and uses her prior knowledge in all academics. The word has a bonus letter or digraph. We learned about being kind in another story. She's always ready. Mrs. Lennox is very proud of you, Brooklyn. Our next first grader is Elena Gamble in Miss Lipnis's class. Come on up, Elena. Elena's a wonderful young lady. She works very hard at her school and is always willing to help. She always tries to go above and beyond. Keep up the great work, Elena, says Miss Lipnos. Our next is a kindergartner, Marley Blake, in Mrs. Iani's class. Wilcox rocks because of Marley. Each day she comes to school prepared and is ready to learn. She is a friend to all and makes notes and cards for her classmates, as well as pictures and notes for her teachers. She is always positive and a great role model. It is an honor to nominate her. And next we have our future leader, Jaden Young, in Mrs. Sutton's class. Jaden is such a great role model to all his friends. He is a hard worker and always very responsible for completing his work. He is kind and helpful to all of those around. He does a wonderful job engaging in the classroom during school hours and even during virtual learning. Wilcox rocks because of him. And I do say little leader because that was the one during the Pledge of Allegiance who overtook all of us out there. So. Next up is Evelyn Yates in Mrs. Troy's class. Evelyn comes to school every day with a warm smile and happy attitude. Mrs. Troy is always so happy to see her. She helps others whenever she notices they might need something. She shares and is kind to everyone. She is learning so much, so fast. Wilcox rocks because of Evelyn. Next up is Maverick Reed in Miss Waters' class. Miss Waters is so thankful to have the opportunity to be Maverick's teacher. He comes to school each day ready to work hard and do his best. He is a great friend to others and is always willing to help his teachers. Maverick is an awesome reflection of Wilcox, and he truly does rock. Next up is a preschooler, Vincent Nightingale, in Mrs. Farrow's class. Vinny has become a leader in our preschool classroom, she says. He is a friend to all and is aware of his friends' preferences, interests, and needs. This is such a great trait and is so unusual in a preschooler. Because he has taken time to get to know his peers, Vinny is able and available to help others, even without being asked. He is curious and creative and loves to play with his peers during play. He's such a wonderful part of the classroom, and Wilcox rocks because of Vinny. And last but not least, we have Mia Williams, preschooler in Mrs. Legazinski's class. Come on up, Mia. Mia is a very hard worker. She works to accomplish every new task that is asked of her. She is always happy and cooperative while at school. She greets friends and teachers while at school also. She is persistent and determined. She really helps make Wilcox rock. Excellent. Boys and girls, if I could get all of you to hold up your certificates in front of your tummies, facing out. And this is a great opportunity for parents and family to get some pictures. Boys and girls, look straight ahead and say cheese. And I'm going to sneak over here as well. One more round of applause, please, for all our Wilcox Rock students. All right, boys and girls, you may go find your parents. And at this time, Wilcox families, we are going to transition to Dodge. So, excellent. So if all the Wilcox families could exit the door on the left. Thank you all so much for coming out this evening.
She looks like. Lana, is that the one that graduated already? What's the one at, oh, okay. Okay, okay. It'll work out. And my daughter was just blessed to have it all like line up. She got the opportunity to go to San Francisco her last semester, and I think that helped. Because the digital, like, it was a digital marketing program, and she interned there and she did that. So like, she like had she ended up choosing Chicago, but that's where she ended up. Huh? Yeah, and she ended up switching jobs because they ended up getting laid off with that role, and now she's making more. Yeah.
She's hit all her state exams and all that stuff. That was way off control. She's stressing on like taking she to the next exam. In case that deal thing. She came in this past week. Other than 3 hours. Early childhood inclusive has to take so many texts.
Yeah.
One of her roommates is teaching high
there are still some seats up front. If you'd like to sit, there are seats up front.
We want to welcome our George G. Dodge Intermediate School families. It is so exciting to see our families back here with us tonight, and we thank Mayor Yates and the City Council for letting us come back to council chambers. Such a better place to meet here. So thank you for being here this evening. It's time to celebrate some great students from George G. Dodge Intermediate School. We were teasing Mr. Holland all day. He's a groovy-looking principal with these beads on. And earlier he had a big cat in a hat on. Maybe you want to explain what's going on, besides you being groovy, what's with the beads?
I would love to. Just, today, this week is Read Across America Week, and so I'm pushing myself out of our comfort zone a little bit. And so what we're doing is we're celebrating and encouraging reading. And reading is so important. As you know, reading is one of the gateways to accessing education, accessing experiences beyond our community and beyond the places that we visited. It's an opportunity for kids to see a global experience. And so we're really supporting our kids' reading. So I got my read beads on. And earlier today I had my read hat, big, tall, wide, big hat that said Read Across America. Again, just reading is so important. It's such an opportunity for our kids to experience things globally. And so I want to try to make sure that we support our kids and our staff through that endeavor. This is also a Read Across America Spirit Week for us at Dodge. And so if you check us out on Twitter and you check us out on our dojo, you'll see we got 2 more big Spirit Days coming up this week. What do we have? Tomorrow's Animal Print Day. Again, today was Big Hat Day and celebrating Dr. Seuss. We've done Dress Like Your Favorite Character week earlier today, favorite character from your books. And so it's just, again, an opportunity to have kids excited about reading and experience reading. But with reading, we also want to make sure our students are leading us through this, and not just me with my big hat, but our students are leading us through reading and also all kinds of opportunities to celebrate each other. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Walker, and we are going to have our students recognize our Students of the Month.
Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see everyone back in this room again. Very, very fun. We are going to be celebrating our Students of the Month actually from February and March from George D. Dodge, and I have some student council representatives who are going to help us with those introductions.
Good evening. My name is Giada Magnus. The following students were selected by their teachers to be our Students of the Month because they have represented all the qualities of an outstanding citizen in Twinsburg Tiger.
Good evening. My name is Kaylin Stahl, and I am here to introduce the 4th grade Students of the Month and their teachers. Teachers, if you are present tonight, please stand as your students are introduced. Students, as your names are called, please come up to receive your certificate. Please remember to remain on the stage until you are dismissed. The 4th grade Students of the Month from Mrs. Palmer, Ms. MacArthur, Mrs. Victor, Mrs. Brenly, and Mrs. Wall's homerooms are Jessica Alfred, Patrick Costigan, Amaya Clark, Natalie Koss, and Lyra Maniaka.
Good evening. My name is Giada, and I'm here to introduce the 5th grade Students of the Month and their teachers. Teachers, if you are present tonight, please stand as your students are introduced. Students, as your names are called, please come up to receive your certificate. Please remember to remain on the stage until you are dismissed. The 5th grade Students of the Month from Mrs. Cardeman, Mrs. Etcher, Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Jensen, Mr. Savage, Mrs. Sindelar, and Mrs. Pelka's homerooms are Abigail Shamalov, Tristan Skies, Sachi McBudin, Sanvi Thacker, Emma Iskander, Richard Milton, and Cadence Hunter.
Good evening. My name is Skylar Hardman, and I am here to introduce the 6th grade Students of the Month and their teachers. Teachers, if you are present tonight, please stand as your students' names are introduced. Students, as your names are called, please come up to receive your certificate. Please remember to remain on stage until you are dismissed. The 6th grade Students of the Month from Miss Brunton, Miss Booker, Miss Black, Mr. Willis, Miss Hawes, Miss Weiner, Miss Madden, and Miss Cosmo's homeroom are Benjamin Sanchez, Sage Vanek, Zachary Eisenhoof, Lucas DeCaro, Logan Buchenhan, Kaylee Osborne, Jackson Trudneal, Kaylin Stoll, and Jane Skilling.
you to do is just go in front of them, stay on this level and go in front.
Good evening. My name is Zayden. Today we represent the Dodge Student Council. During the holiday season, we collected 3,209 items that were donated to the Emergency Assistance Center. We are so proud of this canned food drive that we host each year. We know that we are helping others have a safe and happy holiday season. In January, we enjoyed a 2-week activity recognizing all the random acts of kindness that our students do each day.
Good evening. My name is Luke Takara, In the month of February, we participated in our annual fundraiser for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Together, Family at Dodge raised $3,701.27. We also hosted a Purple and Pink Day in memory of Courtney Jones. Our next activities will be providing encouragement and support during state testing.
So at this time, I want to give all of our young people a great big round of applause. So as you know, we always want to recognize our students that are making great choices, but also our students that are student leaders, and also our students that help us celebrate each other. So if we can have our student council representatives join our Students of the Month, and then this would be a great opportunity for a photo op. But we've had so many wonderful 4th, 5th, and 6th graders to celebrate. We're going to have to kind of crunch together so that we can get a nice big picture. So hold your certificates up, big smiles, not in front of your faces. There you go.
Yeah. Space that out. You got it?
So if everyone has got an opportunity to take a picture, I'm going to ask my 4th, 5th, and 6th graders real quick, and just to ask everyone in the audience to say this week to make a commitment to read something interesting with their kids this week for Read Across America Week. So can we have a big, great big read something with our families this week? Say 1, 2, 3, read. 1, 2, 3, read.
Very literally.
That's nice.
And last but not least, before we have our young people sit down, again, all the great things that our 4th, 5th, and 6th graders do is impossible without our families and our teachers. If you are a Dodge teacher right now, and there's quite a few of them, could you stand up, raise your hand, wave to our families? We appreciate all that you do each and every day. At this time, I'm going to turn it back over to Mrs. Powers, and boys and girls, thank you very much, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Mr. Holland. Certainly great to see all of our students here today. They look wonderful. They're so brilliant, and we are so thankful that you were able to join us for our board meetings tonight. Families, we are staging our presentations because of the limited space. So we're going to ask now that our Dodge families gather your belongings and please exit to the left so that our high school students can come in the right side. Thank you so much for being here this evening. It's great to see everyone.
haven't seen.
Recap the last 20 years. Go back to
Can you sing? Oh, not at all. If I could, I would, but I can't. I would love that. I wish I could sing.
I would.
Does it make sense? Because generally, well, but then if you choose one, so there's so then it's each of us. Sorry, nurses approved. Because it's tomorrow.
Okay, okay, good.
Gymnastics. For they're being recognized for their record. Oh, paintball.
That's good, good pivot. So while we're waiting, we're waiting for a couple more families to get here. If you don't mind, we can do our committee reports really quick. I'm sure it's gonna be some thrilling news for you guys, but while we wait, we may as well kind of knock out two birds with one stone if we can. So if you don't mind, we'll go ahead and commence with our committee reports, and then when the families get here, we'll pivot back to recognizing our students of the month. Are there, so that's, the committee reports is item 3 under E. Do we have any committee reports?
Yes, Mr. Curtis. The Business Advisory Committee met on February 22nd. The Business Advisory Committee, for those that aren't aware, comprised of administration, staff, and many representatives from the business community. That group is there to advise the school, and most of our meeting was conducted discussing what's called the Connections Program. Many of you may have heard of in the past called the Twinsburg Academy. That has merged and is a new course being developed. And this program is hopefully going to be able to assist our students not only in the soft skills, but continue to gain interest in the fields that they might be looking to explore, but at the same time create business internships down the road. So Mr. Popovich gave us an update on that. There was also a mention of a STEM event at Reuters Stokes on May 5th, and CVCC actually tomorrow is a job fair from 3 to 5:30 at CVCC. So if you have any students, this is probably the right audience if they're looking for jobs. There'll be a lot of representatives out at Cuyahoga Valley Career Center. So actually, it's 2 reports. That's the you get my report from Cuyahoga Valley Career Center, as well as Business Advisory, and Finance meets tomorrow.
All right, excellent. Any other committee reports? All right, so we're done with committee reports. Are we ready to go? All right, Mr. Lynn.
Look at that.
Okay, so now, board, it's time to celebrate our oldest students. You all should have been here about 45 minutes ago. We had preschoolers here, so it's been quite an exciting night. And as it always is, when the high school is here, we have Wilcox and Dodge. And thank you, parents, for coming a little later. With the space restrictions, we have to stage our board meetings now. So thank you for your patience with all of this. But that aside, we're so excited. We have so many great high school students to celebrate this evening. So I'm not going to steal your thunder, Mr. Lynn, but I'm going to give you the microphone. And Mrs. Davis is going to help with pins.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Welcome, THS students, parents, and families. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Superintendent Powers, and distinguished guests. I really appreciate the opportunity to come here and honor our students. Like Mrs. Powers said, we have so many fantastic students and families. It is a great partnership. I absolutely love being the principal of Twinsburg High School, and I'm just so proud of each and every one of you. Tonight, we will be honoring three groups. We'll be honoring our Students of the Month. Unfortunately, 3 of the 5 couldn't be here tonight, so I'll read a little bit of some things about our Students of the Month. We'll be honoring our artists, our Silver and Gold Key Award winners, and I have little samples of their artwork as well. And then we'll be honoring our gymnastics team. Our gymnastics team just made it to districts, and we're very, very proud of them. So I'll read a brief summary, and we'll kind of move forward from there. So welcome, everybody, and thank you. At Twinsburg High, it's really hard to believe that we're now in the month of March. Been very busy at Twinsburg High School lately, actively planning for next school year through the master scheduling. Everybody just scheduled for next year, so we're excited. We're also looking forward to many fun and exciting end-of-the-year activities, such as the senior banquet, prom, and graduation on Wednesday, May 25th. I would also like to say good luck to our boys basketball team, who will be taking on Cleveland Heights in the district tournament tomorrow, and good luck to our wrestlers Colin Grady, Major Grant, and Isaac Cantor, who will be wrestling at the district meet this Saturday. Tonight, like I said, I'm thrilled to honor our THS Students of the Month, our Silver and Gold Key Award-winning artists, and our Twinsburg High School gymnastics team. Unfortunately, 3 of the 5 couldn't be here tonight, so I will read their names first, and then for those present, I'll read their names. So our first Student of the Month is Johnny Peters. Johnny couldn't be here tonight, but he was nominated for Excellence in Physical Education, Personal Training and Fitness, nominated by his physical education teacher, Mrs. Richardson. Johnny has taken my class for 3 years now. He has absorbed tons of knowledge and helps me with assisting younger students with technique and proper form with weight training. He works hard every day while also helping others. I'm very grateful for him. So in his absence, let's give him a round of applause. And I'll make sure Johnny gets his certificate tomorrow. Our next Twinsburg High School Student of the Month is Caden Williams. Caden couldn't be here tonight because he has driver's ed, getting that license. Is Miss Williams here tonight? Is his mom here? Yeah, all right. Hey, Caden, how you doing? We miss you. Keep both hands on the wheel, okay? 10 and 2. All right. So Caden is the Business Department Student of the Month. I checked his grades, and he has A+ in both of his business law and office suite classes. So great job, Caden. And he was nominated by his teacher, Miss Spellman. She states Caden is a respectful, hardworking, and caring young man who is always willing to lend a hand. Caden showed what a fine young man he is by stopping by to help Mrs. Houston and Mrs. Spellman in the hallway while decorating doors this past month. When he saw they needed assistance, he provided it and was very polite and kind. So congratulations, Caden. Very proud of you. So Mrs. Williams, you want to do the honor? Thank you very much. Absolutely. It was fun. I felt like I was talking directly to Caden. Right, there you go. Our next Student of the Month is Sophia Middleberg. Sophia is nominated for Excellence in Art, and she was nominated by our art teacher, Miss Masenko. She states, Sophia is an excellent student that excels in art. Just recently, one of her pieces of art received a gold key in scholastic art and writing. The piece will next proceed to judging for national awards. Sophia is a very caring student, always helping others who struggle in the arts, and is a positive, goal-oriented student. So let's give Sophia Middleberg a round of applause. Okay, thank you. And Sophie Simerson, are you here? There we are, Sophie, I see you. Okay, come on up. Our next Student of the Month is Sophie Simerson. Sophie is the World Language Student of the Month, and she was nominated by her American Sign Language teacher, Miss Loymans. Miss Loymans states, I have had the pleasure of teaching Sophie for the last 3 years in American Sign Language. She has always been an outstanding Student with exemplary behavior, she goes beyond expectations and signs beautifully. Excellent job. Congratulations, Sophie. Stay there. You're okay. Last but not least, the music department student of the month is Jaron Jenick. Jaron, come on up. Congratulations, Jaron. Jaron was nominated by his orchestra teacher, Mr. Khan. Jaron was recently selected to perform string bass in the 2022 High School Honors Performance Series. Jaron joined performers from 47 of the United States, Bermuda, China, Guam, Australia, and South Korea to perform at the pinnacle of musical achievement, Carnegie Hall. Congratulations, Jaron. All right, we'll keep moving on. Our next group of students to be honored are our Silver and Gold Key Award winners for outstanding artistic submissions in the 2022 Northeast Central Ohio Art Competition. The Scholastic Art Competition judges awarded 277 silver and gold keys from over 2,100 entries. So very competitive. The artwork for gold and silver key entries were selected for exhibition at the Fine Arts Building at Kent State Stark Campus. Honorable mention and silver key are awarded to students for outstanding achievements in art, and gold key works have been selected as finalists to the National Scholastic Art Awards in New York City. Our first honoree is Gianna Faney. Gianna? Come on up. And behind her actual silver key or gold key award is actually her artwork, because I, as a stick figure person, am so absolutely impressed. So if you want to hold up your artwork, you can. It's behind there. But Gianna received both a gold key award and honorable mention for her artwork. Congratulations, Gianna. Great job. Now we have Lindsay Stevens. Lindsay? Come on up, Lindsay. Lindsay received a Silver Key Award for excellent art. Congratulations, Lindsay. Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. And our next honoree is Jaden Harris. Come on, Jaden. You're okay. You can stay up there. Good job, Jaden. Jaden was awarded honorable mention for excellence in the visual arts. Congratulations, Jaden. Very proud of you. And I already mentioned, our final honoree couldn't be here tonight, Sophia Middleberg. Sophia was awarded a gold key for excellence in the visual arts. Congrats, Sophia. And again, that will be submitted to the National Art Show for selection in New York City. So thank you to all of our amazing artists, our students of the month. Absolutely. So give them one more round of applause.
I just really want to recognize what this means. This is a major, big deal. When you are selected for a Scholastic Art and Writing Award, that means you're one of the best artists in the state. And I know the art department at Twinsburg High School works so hard. Mrs. Lisenko and Mr. Lundy and Ms. Kozak, Ms. Brower, Ms. Plessard. And when we have this many students that are going in this competition forward, and Gianna is a repeater, I believe. Pre-pandemic, we were in Columbus for the art show. And so the talent of our high school artists is second to none. And I really hope you get to go in the halls at the high school and see some of the work that's displayed in the hallways. I can't even draw a stick figure. So I really appreciate what I see. And starting from the youngest time that you're in school, the earliest time you're in school, to where you proceed to today, and your artistic ability is just fantastic. And Jaron, Mr. Lynn mentioned Carnegie Hall. To be able to perform at Carnegie Hall as a high school student is brilliant. And I just wanted to say to you how proud I am. When Mr. Khan explained the award and what you were able to do, and you took us, you represented us at Carnegie Hall. That is fantastic. And I just didn't want this moment to go away without us just saying congratulations to you and your mom and your dad and your family. And I can hardly wait to see what you're going to do next. Brilliant. And then thank you very much for your sign language ability. In the world that we live in, it is so important to be bilingual. We have 26 languages spoken in our school district, and being able to sign language and to communicate with others who may not have the ability to hear is a gift. And when I hear what a wonderful signer you are and that your signing is beautiful, that means a lot to the people in our community and larger who don't have the ability to hear in that communication. So for everyone here tonight, you are top-notch students. You amaze me by your talents. I am so proud to be here with you. Our Board of Education is proud to support you. And families, this is huge. To be able to recognize students of this caliber in the Twinsburg City School District, it's tremendous. So I just wanted to say congratulations on behalf of our board, and to just recognize what it means for you to be here tonight is a tremendous accomplishment, and keep it going, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Powers. Finally, I would like to honor a very special group of young ladies for their outstanding athletic achievements this year. Please welcome members of the Twinsburg High School gymnastics team. I'll call your name, and please come down when I announce your name. Senior Ellie Kniezel. Cece Radicelli. Chelsea Beers. Josie Davis. Alyssa White-Scarver. Ella Coyne. Katie Novak. Cassandra Appel. Erin Winfield. Addison Cross. And Coach Maggie Benedetti. Thank you for joining us tonight, ladies. So just, personally, congratulations on a wonderful season. It was fantastic. I got to see you guys perform a few times, and you really just amazed me with your talents. Really just the dedication, I think, to be a good gymnast is something that's just really impressive. The amount of work, and spoke to some of your parents, and just the amount of years you've been in the program. So great job, and very proud of you for your recent place in the districts. And I reached out to Coach Maggie for a little bit of a write-up, so I'm going to quote her a little bit and read some season highlights. So this season has been a record-breaking season. We have broken our school record 5 times. Each meet, these girls got stronger and stronger. They really pushed themselves and each other to their full potential. For the first time ever, we were seated 4th in our sectional. The top 4 teams get to pick which event and flight they start on for a competition. Josie Davis and Alyssa White-Scarver both qualified for bars at the district tournament. As we continued on with sectionals, we hit another season high of 133.725, qualifying our team for the last spot or 4th place to advance to the district tournament out of 27 teams. This is the first time in a very long time Twinsburg Gymnastics has made it out of sectionals. Alyssa White-Scarver also proceeded to advance to the districts and all around. Last Saturday, we took on the district tournament. Our goal was to beat our school record once again. We weren't worried about placements, but we wanted to be the best we have been all season. That is just what the team did. Starting on the floor, Cassandra hit her tumbling pass she's been working on all season. Katie added a new advanced skill in her floor routine. Alyssa, Josie, and Ellie hit their routines as well. We continued our day and counted no falls on the beam for the first time all season. Our bar qualifiers also hit their routines. Coach Maggie couldn't have asked for anything more from these girls. They did exactly what they came out to districts to do and ended up scoring 2 points higher than the last record they broke. In gymnastics, 2 points is huge, ending their season with the first time 135.02. Individuals in the team did not make it to states this season, but our future looks bright, and we can't wait to see what next season holds. We could not be more proud of this team. We like to call it the perfect 10. By the way, that's a great write-up, Coach. So congratulations.
Mr. Lynn, can these ladies stay here for a second? I would like the board to join them for a photo if possible.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
I thought you were going to do a handspring. I'm just going to do it.
want to say how proud we are of you. We've been watching the progress and the success of this team, and it's was so fun to watch you compete. Mr. Lynn and I stood quietly in the corner a couple weeks back and watched the ladies compete, and I am amazed at your athleticism and the strength and the grit, and just it's remarkable to watch. So just know that you make us so proud. And parents, that's a tough sport, isn't it? And it really takes a lot of dedication, not just from your daughters, but also from you, to be there and to watch them go through all of that and all that practice and their dedication. So we know how dedicated you are too. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Lady Tigers, we're so proud of you. Coach, thank you for being here, and we look forward to great things again next season. Thank you. Okay, so you're welcome to stay if you'd like. If not, we're going to swap out the celebrations for the business part of the meeting. And if you are leaving, thank you for being here this evening. Thank you for celebrating with us. We look forward to the spring season and a great end of the school year.
Congratulations, ladies.
Congrats.
Mr. Curtis, that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Powers. Okay, I will go with remonstrance. We do have one blue card. So item F, remonstrance. Persons wishing to address the Board of Education should submit a blue card to the treasurer prior to the meeting so that they can be recognized by the board president and welcome to make a comment. No formal action will be taken on subjects that are not included on this agenda until the board has had an opportunity to study them. Comments regarding personnel must be submitted in writing through the office of the superintendent. Although there is normal, adequate time for citizens to express themselves at a board meeting, if several people wish to speak, each person will be allotted 5 minutes until the total time of 30 minutes is used. Each person addressing the board is asked to give his or her name and address. So I have Tracy Schneeman.
Hi, I'm Tracy Schneeman. I live at 10014 Ravenna Road, right across the street. I am a proud mom of a 2020 COVID grad, and I have a senior and a freshman at the high school as well. So I'm here today to talk about kind of the state and the climate of the Lady Tigers basketball team. It's kind of hard to believe that it was just 9 years ago that they were finishing their historic run of back-to-back state titles and a chance to three-peat and just barely miss out on that. And I know that the quality of the play, like, it kind of fell off pretty quickly. My daughter is a three-sport varsity athlete at the high school. She plays soccer and basketball and softball. And in her 4 years of being a Lady Tiger, I think they maybe have won 10 games total in all 4 years. So she has put in countless hours of practice, hundreds of hours of practice, hundreds of layups, hundreds of squeakers, just because she loved the game. And I want to preface kind of my statement here with two things. First of all, I'm not like a super warm and fuzzy kind of person. I believe in like real talk and tough love, and I didn't let my kids beat me at races when they were 3. I'm their toughest critic. So there's that. And then also, my kids have been in sports year-round from the time they were 4 years old. I have dealt with countless coaches at the rec level, at the middle school level, at the high school level, even at really premier club level, many, many coaches, and I've never felt compelled to kind of address anything about a team until this season. So the climate of the team was really, it was full of hostility and negativity. The statements that I'm going to say are not hearsay. Very early on in the season, several of the girls were very uncomfortable with the conversations that were had in the locker room and the way that the coach talked to them, so they started recording them. So I sought out, and I've actually heard all the things that were said. He called them on several occasions, called them embarrassing. He told them that the team that was beating them by more than 30 was worse than horrible, suggesting that they were worse than horrible. His daughter, the assistant coach, was very petty, very immature. She mocked the girls, she mimicked their body language, and just really made it was a nightmare of an environment for the young ladies. So he also told them that he was not there to build confidence, that was not his role, to boost them up. And I would say that that's kind of coaching 101, especially in a post-COVID time. I would say if you ask any coach, I think they probably feel like they're more sports psychologists than strategists. But he doesn't view that as his role. So the program is at I think a really critical time. Numbers are down. We're not winning. And the not winning isn't even the worst part of it. But my fear is that in the next few years, if things don't turn around, even year 2, we could not have a Lady Tiger basketball program, it's embarrassing for a district of our size and our quality that we can't pull together a team. There's several really quality middle school players right now, but there's rumblings that they might leave and go to private school because they also had older siblings or friends or neighbors who had experience with this year's coach. I don't really want to take this time to complain about my daughter's playing time, but I feel like it's a good snapshot kind of certain things that went on in the climate of the program. So my daughter's been a starter since 5th grade. So that means probably 8 different coaches. And this year, Coach Abby, who is Coach Esteric's daughter, she was in charge of subbing the girls. And I think she just didn't like my daughter. So Elliot went from playing, literally never coming off the court last year, to playing 30, 45 seconds a game, some games, and we were losing by like 30 points. So there was no reason to not kind of distribute some of the time and like salvage what little bit of fun was left in the season for these girls. Another thing that was so I finally had my fill at the last regular season game, and I think anybody who's involved in high school sports, unless the last game is really close, you're probably going to end the season with your seniors on the court. It's just kind of the way it works. And my daughter played for 30-some seconds first half and 40-some seconds second half. And so I decided that I had had enough, and I was going to address him. And I didn't hold back. I was not polite. I was not super aggressive. I didn't use foul language, but I told him that I questioned his character because he refused to have a meeting with my husband very early on in the season. I questioned his godliness, I guess, because he felt the need on several occasions to preface a statement to the girls with, "I'm a really good Christian," and then say something. And so I told him that I didn't think that good Christians needed to preface their statements with that. You could kind of see it through their actions. And then I told him that the season wasn't a total loss because my daughter learned that she would have to deal with people in life that weren't very smart, that weren't very nice, and weren't very good at their job. And he clearly did not like being spoken to like that. And I don't totally blame him, but it was true and how I still feel at the time. And so for the very, very last game of her 4 years, again, countless hours, lots of effort, not a lot of wins. She played for like 30-some seconds the first half and a minute at the end of the third quarter and the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So again, she wasn't rewarded with, kind of going out with a bang at the end of her senior year. He didn't speak to a single family, nor senior girl, nor even the junior parents that were there at senior night. And that to me speaks that he's not trying to build a program. He was not trying to build camaraderie or anything amongst the ladies. I would say one of the more despicable things that happened this season was the way that he treated his assistant coach. He yelled at her in front of the girls, told her not to talk to them. He kicked her out of the locker room. She wasn't allowed to coach them. He actually yelled at the girls if they tried to speak to her. And one time, even in front of them, he threw a pencil at her and told her to take stats like I told you to. And I don't think that this is what we want our young ladies to see, that there's this woman at a position of authority, but a man with more power treating her like that. And it was really despicable. And I would say the most deplorable thing of the season was after an okay game at Hudson, a decent post-game talk, and Coach Abby, his daughter, spoke up at the very end and ended it with, NJV players, if you don't start standing for the national anthem, we're gonna run until I'm tired. And I find that that is just disgusting, especially in the climate of 2022, to tell these young black girls that they had to stand for the national anthem without ever a discussion with them about why they weren't. So I just feel like I know that it's gonna be coming up for time to consider rehiring him. And I know that it's hard always to fire a coach after only 1 year because you want to give him a shot. But I don't think it's necessarily what he can or can't do on the court. I just simply don't feel that he's the person to try to turn our program around and really be a leader of our young ladies. So I just needed to kind of speak to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sheeman. Let me just say first that I'm sorry that your daughter has had this experience.
Thank you.
It's not something that's ideal. I appreciate you and your husband coming here to the board, and for you having the courage to come before us and share your concerns. You know, I'm sorry that this has been your experience. It isn't something that any child or parent should have to go through. So the extent to which what you've shared with us is true, then I'm sure that the administration will look at these things very seriously. We want to make sure that all of our athletes, all of our student athletes, have a positive experience, regardless of wins and losses. The fact of the matter is it's extracurricular, and it's something that students should enjoy. And the extent to which your daughter was not able to benefit from that, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to item G. Excuse me. Treasurer's report and recommendations. Without objection from my colleagues, I will read them together. G1, resolve that the Twinsburg Board of Education approve the following meeting minutes. Regular meetings of February 2nd, 2022 and February 16th, 2022, and special meeting of February 1st, 2022 as sent to the board under separate cover. 2, that the Twinsburg Board of Education accepts the following financial reports: bank reconciliation, general fund financial summary report, and financial report by fund for the month of January 2022 as sent to the board under separate cover. 3, that the Twinsburg Board of Education accepts the check register for the month of January 2022. The total, including payroll, is $5,957,088. 4, that the Twinsburg Board of Education, the Twinsburg City School District, Summit County, resolve that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission in its certification be and the same are hereby accepted, and be it further resolved that there be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said school district and rate of each tax necessary to be levied within and without the 10 mil limitation as per attached, and be it further resolved that the treasurer of this board be and is hereby directed to certify a copy of this resolution to the fiscal officer of said county of Summit. Do I have a motion for G 1 through 5? I'm sorry, 1 through 4.
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Crawford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Felber. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Aho, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Crawford,
Yes.
Mr. Felber,
Yes.
Mrs. Travis,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Curtis,
Yes. And that item passes 5-0. Next is action items H1 and 2. H1, resolved that the Twinsburg Board of Education accepts the certificated licensed personnel and/or contract recommendations detailed in the attached exhibit as per the dates, terms, and other applicable conditions specified pending satisfactory ORC background checks. And 2, that the Twinsburg Board of Education accept the supplemental contract recommendations detailed in the attached exhibit as per the dates, terms, and other applicable conditions specified pending satisfactory ORC background checks. Do I have a motion for items H1 and 2?
Yes.
So moved by Mrs. Travis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Davis. Discussion.
Well, there's a couple retirements on there. I don't know if we need to approve these retirements. or- Last chance, Marty. Going once. Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah, I've been working with Marty over the past 8 years, and you guys have said a lot, and I just appreciate all the work you've done and everything you've done to guide us. I'll save more specific comments for later on, but really appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you.
And thank you.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been very grateful that I've been able to work with some great people with the boards that I've worked with in the past. You guys have all been great. Couldn't ask for anything better. Really appreciate all the everything. Thanks.
All right, well, Mr. Aho, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Travis,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Felber,
Yes.
Mr. Crawford,
Yes.
Mr. Curtis,
Yes.
Too late.
That passes 5-0. Next is action items, new business. Item I, without objection from my colleagues, I will read I1 through 5 together. I1, resolved that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the revised job description for pupil services supervisor for the attached exhibit. I2, that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the service agreement amendment with Therapy in Motion LLC for the remainder of the 21-22 school year for an additional amount not to exceed $20,000 to provide physical therapy services for students at a rate of $90 per hour as sent to the board under separate cover. 3, that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the rental agreement with the University of Akron to use the E.J. Thomas Performing Arts Hall on Wednesday, May 25th, 2022 for the purposes of the Twinsburg High School commencement for the class of 2022 as sent to the board under separate cover. 4, that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves a contract with Patricia Coslow, 1169 Berkshire Drive, Macedonia, Ohio 44056 for communication consulting services for the period of July 1, 2022 to June 30th, 2023 at a rate of $60 per hour, not to exceed 1,100 hours as sent to the board under separate cover. And 5, that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the service agreement with the Education Alternatives for one student to attend Education Alternatives Bedford location for the remainder of the 2021-22 school year as sent to the board under separate cover. The prepaid tuition is $9,443. This is a general fund expenditure. Do I have a motion for items I1 through 5?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Felber. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Travis. Discussion.
I just wanted to point out with Patty Coslow, long-standing contract. The work she does is very different than the consulting that's been done and that you're starting to see around the social media and other public relations from the other consulting. Patty is really more on the hands-on on the quality profile, the website, and such, and has served this district very, very well. I can't recall a single contract that went to the max hours, if it ever has. But she knows the business. She's well known in the circles. We go down to Ohio School Board Association. Everybody knows Patty. So she's served us very well, and it's my encouragement to welcome her back.
No, thank you very much for that clarification, Mr. Felber. Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, Mr. Aho, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Felber?
Yes.
Mrs. Travis?
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Curtis?
Yes. And that item passes 5-0. Okay, we are on to miscellaneous. Any items for miscellaneous?
Just if anybody's listening, live stream Cuyahoga Valley Career Center Job Fair tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 5:30.
We'd like to wish good luck to our high school symphonic and concert band. They will be traveling to Medina on Friday night for the Ohio Music Association's competition, so we do want to extend good wishes to them, and good luck for their competition.
And I omitted in my president's report, when I talked about the Black History Month celebrations, Gus Critchlow also put out a video of, I think, all of the door decorations throughout the district. Apparently there must have been some competition going on there. But it was set to some great music, I think the Black National Anthem, and a lot of other famous African Americans throughout time, some more recent. Really a nice job, a nice video collage of a lot of what was going on throughout the district, and just kind of put it in a historical context. So I want to also thank Mr. Critchlow for his efforts in putting that together. Okay, so we don't have any more for miscellaneous. We do have a need to go into executive session.
Do that. Just put it in my pocket.
Just one thing real quick. It was put on the Dodge page that Kingston, who's I think in 6th grade at Dodge, he was punched his ticket to the Ohio Youth Wrestling State Tournament for this weekend. So he'll represent Twinsburg Wrestling and compete with the top 16 in the state of Ohio. So I thought that was really nice.
More accolades. We can always use more of those, so good stuff. So yeah, we do have a need to go into executive session. So we're gonna go into executive session at 8:28 to prepare for negotiations with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of employment per Board of Education Policy 0166E, and to consider the purchase of property for public purposes per Board of Education Policy 0166C. I will make the motion to go into executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Davis. Mr. Aho, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Curtis?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Felber?
Yes.
Mrs. Travis?
Yes.
Okay, we are now in executive session. We do not have a need or expectation that we will conduct further business once we reconvene. Thank you and good evening.